didn't expect anything else.
Okay, here we are again with the next guest. What's your name and what brings you to JCON?
Hello, I'm Simone de Gijt. I am from the Netherlands. You might hear it from my accent. And what brings me to JCON? Well, basically to meet all of these amazing people here. I love the fact that JCON is so community driven, the fact that people are coming from all around and it's really job oriented, right? And I'm giving a talk, so there's that. But basically to meet everyone.
Okay, let's talk about that small detail. You have a talk.
Yeah.
What's the talk about?
The talk is about the impact of AI on your learning capabilities. So, if you are learning stuff, and I hope we all do, should you then include AI? Yes or no?
And the answer is?
It depends. As with everything, right? But yeah, it's basically about the fact that if you are learning new stuff, then there's of course this risk of becoming too over reliant on it, and that you are simply copy pasting what you find online. And how are you going to judge that if you don't have any base knowledge on the matter yet? If you're learning new stuff, how are you going to evaluate if the AI is speaking the truth? Which could lead to you, as they say it, you can fall asleep at the wheel. And this is basically when AI takes over, and instead of that, you don't use it as a tool anymore. So AI is in control instead of you. And that in time can seriously harm like critical thinking, problem solving skills, etc. So there's definitely a big risk.
Because I've been talking about MCP's servers here yesterday, I just started an experiment thanks to Claude AI to help me.
Perfect.
First thing that happened was documentation that it was based on was probably outdated.
Mhm.
So my dependencies were already wrong. So no, you should not trust it and really use it as a step by step to guide you through a new project maybe.
Yeah, my recommendation is to first of all find your source of truth. And with that being said, AI isn't a source of truth because it's not written by an author. It is not reviewed or evaluated by peers. It is a prediction tool. So you need to find indeed your source of truth from somewhere else, from someone you can really trust.
Okay. More tips that you give during the talk about what not to use, what to use.
Yeah, um, we really point out that you can, of course, use it to inspire your ideas because it's a great idea generator, and it can actually benefit your critical thinking if you use it to reflect on where you're currently at, what is your current thinking process to give new perspectives. But you need to be so aware that you are in control and that you're doing that you not let AI take over, that you first try stuff out yourself, make mistakes. That's fine because it will gain a deeper understanding of the material, right? But after you tried stuff out and you tried multiple things and you're finished, either because you're completely stuck and you don't know how to continue anywhere else, or because you're satisfied, then include AI to give you either a possibility to untangle or to give you new perspectives on how you can simplify it, how you can do it in a different way. So yeah, always think first, do first, and then invite AI to the table. Much like a tutor, right? Use AI as a tutor who will never give you the answers straight ahead. It always comes later. And tutors will help you plan your learning, structurize your learning, and give suggestions on how to continue.
I do a lot of writing. What I found very useful was copying a block into chat and try ask for a summary
Oh yeah, yeah.
and then what's missing. Other uses you see as a programmer or different use like writing or something else?
Yeah, what I just mentioned a little bit, like a big advantage of participating in a course is the fact that you get a tutor, And this tutor is making a planning for you for the duration of the course. It's structurizing your learning, like what should you learn first, what should you learn second. And AI can also do that for you, right? It can really tailor like where you're at now, how should you plan it, different, like even it can even make an agenda for you, basically. And with every session you do, it can grade your current like progress and say, okay, then the next session should be, or your next learning episode should be about this and that. And summarizing is a great way, I think. But I do notice, and I also read that back in articles and from personal experience, that summarizing on the bigger scale is nice, but again in retrospect. So you first kind of need to read the article yourself, because the devil's in the details and the hallucinations are as well. So you need to have a general concept of the article that you're feeding the AI before you blindly trust the summary that comes out of it.
So we're now talking about code generation with LLMs. How do you look at Java and AI in a program? How we
Yeah.
can use AI? Any ideas about that?
And do you mean the code generation tools as the plugins in our tool, or more
No,
than
like
creative?
yeah, like LangChain for J using it in a Java application. How do you think those are already good? Do they replace what we can do with Python?
Ooh, well, I think we're very much at the starting phase of that, right? Like I think for especially if you go to conferences like this, a lot of talks are about it. But if you talk to the people in the hallways, not a lot of people are actually working with it currently. So I think it's a little bit hard to say, and I feel that there are a lot of green projects around that haven't really been proven in production yet. So it's a little bit early to say if this will really have the big impact that we're all talking about, I feel. But there are definitely a lot of ideas going around. So
Yeah, but are not a lot of these a bit overhyped?
I think so. I think there's a lot more to it than simply vibe coding your way to make a nice GUI and do like this idea generation, because it can indeed, if you vibe code or if you just generate like this GUI to pitch your new innovation idea, it can work with that. But is it really sufficient enough for production use? Is it really secure enough for production use? Hallucinating all around. Like, I don't think we're there yet.
Okay. If we look at Java in general, what are you looking forward to, which will come in the next versions?
Ooh, I'm actually attending a talk on Valhalla in the upcoming session, so I'm looking forward to hear a bit more about that and to see that. And if I can be honest, we're here just the two of us, of course, but I'm still on Java 17, so my next step will be to go to Java 21, I think, and then.
Shouldn't you skip 21 and go to 25 in September?
That's true. That's true. That's a good one to maybe shove on the backlog too.
I think what we've seen in all these recent versions, they are very stable. That means if we just take existing codes and move to a newer version, not a lot will break, but we can take advantages of the improvements which were done for developer friendliness, so easier coding.
Exactly. And to be honest, I'm a big Kotlin fan. So we develop in both languages on the project I'm working on, but I'm a big Kotlin fan. But you do notice that Java, step by step, every stable release, is getting more to that same developer friendliness that Kotlin or also offers, right? So it's becoming more and more pleasant to work with, definitely.
You're the first one who mentions Kotlin, I think.
Oh.
Of the interviews I've done. I've done my Kotlin experiments myself, the first ones, because I'm stuck on Java, let's say.
Okay, yeah.
It's my
Good
biggest
for you.
love. But I have to agree that Kotlin is great. It has, yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you a Kotlin lover?
It is so readable. I love the way they write, their DSL works, and it's of course like it's Java. Everybody loves Java streams, right? And it's that, but then better, then more, then like they have so much like sugarcoating, which just makes your life nicer. Like, yeah.
I agree. I even written a blog post about that. So
Oh, yeah.
I have been using with JavaFX,
Mhm.
and the way that you can use the apply block and then have far less code, and it's indeed readability, which is a lot better in Kotlin. Do you think that Java new versions will replace Kotlin, or is there still some advantage in one of them?
Well, I think because Kotlin is so far ahead that they already have more experience in this field and that they will stay ahead of the curve a little bit. However, I do notice that the gap is getting smaller with every Java release. But I think that's a good thing because I think there are a lot of people that are indeed hooked on Java. And maybe the advantages to switch from Java to Kotlin are becoming less. But that means that we all get to benefit the sugar, right? So that's good.
And it both runs on the GVM, so
Exactly.
we are all friends and we're on the same world. Okay, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a speaker at this conference.
Thank you so much for having me. All right.